Making a game on the scale of Halo takes hundreds of people with different skills, a singular vision, and time. Lots of time. But before a game reaches store shelves, the team must create thousands of assets that are tracked in 2-week deadlines we call sprints. 343 Industries invites you to join us on our journey, creating Halo 5 Guardians from the ground up, one painting, sound, and line of code at a time. This is the Sprint.
This is the extra large. I feel it. I think it feels good. Can I keep this one?
This guy knows what he's doing. Boy, it looks like the swag level has increased considerably.
Yes, it has.
Tremendous.
Thank you.
Barton on the gun. Enjoy, world.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This year we went to our second midnight launch with 343. On Halo 4, I started off as a gameplay animator and moved my way onto consumer products. Consumer products involves a lot of different aspects like action figures, books, apparel. Even recently we had the Boomco blasters from Mattel.
Man, this guy's got it going on. Good shot.
So about 3 years ago, I decided that I wanted to make a new Halloween costume for my son. Originally I made an Optimus Prime, and he outgrew it, so it was time to make a new costume for him. And since I was working on Halo 4, I thought, why not make Master Chief? This is the helmet here. It's made out of craft foam. The visor is a mirrored sheet with a piece of yellow acetate over it. On Halo 4, I was a gameplay animator, and one of the first Promethean weapons that I worked on was the light rifle, so I decided to make Daddy's rifle.
Have you ever wanted to be anybody but Master Chief?
I also work on the costumes from Disguise Costumes, which is our current partner. And one of the things I pushed for was to make sure that they had a mirrored visor that you could see through, kind of emulating what I had made with his costume. 343 is responsible for more than just the game. It also involves anything inside the Halo universe. Sparth and the art team and the dev team, the writers, they all have a say in what goes into consumer products. We have weekly meetings to review products that are upcoming to make sure that everything is looking the way they should be.
So they cut the sides out so the new one will actually fit the fans better. Anybody got any issues with those ergonomic changes? Sweet.
Yeah, looks pretty good.
Spartan Games are doing busts of their commander cards. So this is the first round for Hood. I'm gonna run the badges and ranks past Kenneth just to make sure those are okay.
Didn't we end up dropping the Lord and he's just Terrence Hood now?
Oh, that I don't know. This is an already established name from books. Let's just revisit the name.
Okay.
This is for the encyclopedia, is that what?
This is for, Halo Mythos story guide.
Oh yeah,
all the pieces of the canon.
The big book.
Yeah, the big.
Not encyclopedia.
No. Yeah, this will cover the story from the very beginning of Forerunners all the way through.
I think the composer is way too big. That's Infinity, right?
Yes.
In 4, we run around the composer inside the space station. and that is a little bigger than it should be, with Infinity being 3 miles long. Chief is like that big next to it. Like, and then you look at the Pelicans, and it's mostly this beam of light is giving me a sense that it's directly under the ship, and this seems way too big. Maybe I'm way off.
He's at 681 feet tall.
Yes, and
Infinity, like, it's 3 miles long.
3 miles long.
okay, so the length is 18,600 feet. The beam is 2,734, and the height is 3,416.
Yeah, Composer's a little big. I think we knew how Halo 5 ended before we knew how Halo 4 ended.
Yeah.
I remember discussing the end of this game real early on.
Found you. Hide and seek's over, Infinity.
Most of the fundamental crafting of the events that are going to happen definitely happens at the start, but then they can evolve by the time you actually ship the last cinematic into a pretty unrecognizable shape.
Where is she? She's gone, sir.
At that point, we certainly didn't know about Blue Team. Osiris was but a gleam in our eye. But yeah, like the big beats of Cortana survives this thing that happens at the end of 4. Cortana comes back. Cortana has this new plan that nobody is quite sure they agree with. That was all there day one.
And even Osiris, I mean, at one point, Spartan Locke was going to be Gabriel Thorne, right?
Yeah. At one point, he was going to be Thorne. He was going to be Palmer. Eventually, we knew that he was going to be a new character. He was Agent Smith for us for a long time. All Matrix jokes aside, Smith was our placeholder name that we knew we'd change. And then as the team started taking shape, we just kind of realized we wanted Buck.
That's the interesting thing, for me at least, is that when we do set up those big tent poles, we're always trying to remain agile enough so that things like the Buck situation can actually happen.
Repeatedly throughout, we were talking to each other about how, Cortana is not evil. Cortana is doing a thing we don't agree with, and she has the power to make it happen.
Well, America does things people don't agree with, and Russia does things people don't agree with. You don't have to go to the edge of space to find that different a perspective on things. And I think the difference is that the fact that Cortana is going to lock Chief in a cryptum for 10,000 years is a great way to look at how many ticks are on her watch face.
That'll be how long it takes me to show you so I can convince you.
Exactly. That was what the only thing I thought of is when he pops out of her, everything will be fine.
Yeah. And you know what? I think she's probably right.
She might be right in a way, but the tension that people have always had and that cultures have always had is it's not up to you to enforce that vision on me. You have to give me the freedom to do it myself. We're talking about the grand thesis of storytelling, but there's all these little bits of storytelling that go into the universe that are, bluntly speaking, tedious to do. One is, how many ways can you say, I threw a grenade that don't sound wonky, as you all know?
Yep.
Grenade out! Tossing a grenade! Throwing a grenade! What is the matter with you?
Part of what made me a Halo fan in the first place was realizing this game had a sense of humor.
Yeah, we don't take ourselves too seriously.
There's a story about the fate of the galaxy is on the line. That grunt is hilarious. And being able to get that into 5 was a big goal.
And it has to work with systems that when you hear, and this is a real one, an elite saying, he shot him in the face because you just shot one of his grunt subordinates in the face. Like all the things that were required to, that wasn't a grenade, it was definitely a shot, it was a headshot, it killed him outright, the methane didn't go. There were all these triggers and things that have to function correctly in that. So it's not just a string that's sort of playing out randomly. Everything is working as a holistic system.
There was a point early on where we could tell if the Warthog was ramping and was upside down, and if you were in the gunner seat or the passenger seat or the driver's seat. And we were writing dialogue for this nonsense.
What do you say?
A lot of Dukes of Hazzard.
And that's not a problem that every game has, every shooter has. I mean, Halo, you're upside down in a vehicle often, depending on what you're doing, and so,
But you can only record so many thousand lines before it's time to ship the game, and test
before
them.
they sound ludicrous.
Yes.
Drive as stupid as you like. Wardogs can handle it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's continuing, as we start talking about next projects, with Halo Wars 2 and whatever comes after Halo 5. Like, we already pretty well know where the universe is headed.
Yeah. So we're already in the early stages of framing out the story and getting big agreements from Tim Longo and Josh Holmes and this group on the big tentpole pieces of the story. And I think it's something we haven't even really sort of dug down to in terms of the emotional or philosophical aspects of it. Practical, yeah, but like, what does this mean? Who's the chief in a world that is that radically changed, where the command structure is actually kind of looking up to him now rather than the other way around?
Well, there's definitely going to be a sense of, boy, you're part of this problem. You need to fix this. What did your best friend just do?
Yes.
I think the most interesting part for me is the fact that we are really in uncharted territory. And I know that as a fan, before I came on the team, one of the things I loved doing was trying to figure out, like, where are they going to go next? What's the next thing? And honestly, I can't imagine, I mean, given what I know, I can't imagine anybody being able to sort of set course for where we're headed. So I think that's pretty awesome.
But I think the truth is we sort of know where we're heading.
Yeah,
I mean, we have some pillars, but we don't really know where we're going to end up, because all the same challenges and opportunities that we've had on all of the games from Halo 1 until now are still going to be there, and and it's the opportunities that are the most exciting part.
What are we seeing?
A crazy early version of our Rex story.
Yeah.
Actually, this is the first time I've seen it.
This is the first time?
Oh, so you're really hoping it doesn't crash, right?
Yeah.
No crashing. It'll be fine.
Oh, you're opening up a pack.
Animating.
Someone make sound effects.
Mongoose, Needler, Ghost, Fuel Rod Cannon.
Yes.
All the details are in.
I love it.
That's fantastic.
Pitch for Warzone and the Rex system, they were both pitched independently, and they were pitched in very early 2013, if I'm remembering correctly. When it really started working for me is when we got real inventories for players. And so they weren't just burning a card they had been given arbitrarily, they were burning a card that was in their inventory and had weight, and you wanted to succeed with it, and you didn't want the enemy to take it out. And when we turned that page, Warzone really started feeling like something people could sink hours into. There's like a personal investment in these things, right? Like if I go and I earn my Banshee Ultra, and I decide that this is the moment I'm going to deploy it on the battlefield, and then somebody either takes it out with, a well-placed Splazer beam, or somebody manages to suddenly jump on and hijack my Banshee and take it away, it has so much more impact to me knowing that that was my thing, and I use that card at just that moment. And then on the flip side, it feels amazing to take something away from someone. Yeah, I love calling in a Splazer to take out, maybe it's your Banshee or someone's Scorpion tank. It's an amazing feeling, and especially when it's when it contributes to a boss takedown or a big late game win. Yeah, I was in a game the other day and people were on voice chat and someone said, "Does anyone have a Scorpion?" And I had the card and called it in, and it felt like I was kind of the hero arriving to the battle to turn the tides, and it was a really cool moment. I think it's really interesting when you're working on something that's a brand new experience like Warzone, and you're part of a really large team, and not everybody's working directly on that experience. They're coming down to play test, and they're seeing prototypes, and they're kind of hearing secondhand or third hand, like, oh yeah, this is kind of the vision for the mode. And I think there was a lot of skepticism in different parts of the studio where, is this thing really going to pan out? Like, is it going to be fun? Should we be pursuing this thing, or how's it all going to work? And for me, the point where it all kind of clicked is we had the team working very hard on kind of a vertical experience. All of these different systems, you had like the game mode itself, you had the content that supports the game mode, but then you also had the rec system coming online and people able to actually use their rec inventory within the game. And the loop wasn't completely, finished, but it was close enough that you could kind of squint and go like, oh, I get this now. And that was the point where I could see everybody across the team starting to get really excited, and it was like light bulbs went off. They're like, oh, I get it now. That's what Warzone is, and that's awesome.
I think overall, we knew certain things would be coveted, and they're in a little bit of scarce supply in launch. So, for example, weapon skins. People love Magnum skins. People love AR skins because of the arena starts. Yeah. We see a very clear need there.
Everybody is now officially making rec content all the time. It's like, all right, the new job is to go and build as much cool stuff to put in the rec system as possible. The team has delivered an amazing game, but we're not content to just deliver that game and move on. We're going to be continuing to deliver more maps, more rec content, weapons, vehicles, armor sets, game modes on a regular cadence, trying to deliver new content monthly, trying to deliver new experiences as quickly as possible to just let people know that there's always a reason to come back and play more Halo 5. That's a huge shift for our team, moving from that idea of like releasing a product at a single moment in time and then racing off to go and build the next game. Now we've released that product, and that's the beginning of the next chapter of the journey where now we're continuing to build content for it. I think also proving that we can be agile and tweak the economy or experiences as players play it and give feedback. Like, we actually made a change to Warzone Assault based on the way people had been playing it in the first week. We found players weren't hitting the rec levels we wanted them to hit, so we've sped up leveling, and that'll be going out in an update this month. Yeah. Multiplayer for Halo 5 is just going to continue to evolve over time, and that's what's cool about it. Is it's the experience that fans play a year from now is going to be completely different from the experience that launched, and we're just going to continue to develop and evolve multiplayer in Halo 5. We want it to be the best multiplayer experience anywhere in any game, and we're going to get there 1 week and 1 month at a time.
With Halo 4, I think we had an amazingly talented set of individuals. With Halo 5, we have a team. You know, we have the team that's going to lead Halo going forward. But this is our Halo 343, and congratulations.
Thank you, Bonnie. So I appreciate the opportunity to come up here and just spend this moment with you guys. And that's been a long journey, as many of you know, building this studio from the ground up, going through the ups, going through the downs. All of those things are important to getting you to the point that you're at today. It is an amazing accomplishment. And the last thing I'll say, because I've been doing this for an awful long time, as I know some people in here have as well, these moments where you get to ship something that's as great as this come and go very quickly, and it's easy to just have them end up as something that you remember slightly in the past. You know, take a moment and just soak this in, and it's easy to always look at next, but you deserve to sit and just wallow in the now and wallow in the celebration. So for each of you, take the time to do that, because this is something that you'll think back on 20 or 30 years from now being a part of. For me, I'll remember being part of this launch forever, and for that, I'm grateful and thankful. So thank you.
So after 6 years in Kirkland working on Halo 4 and 5, we're now spread across 2 buildings. And in January, we're actually moving to a brand new studio space in Redmond. Our new studio is now under renovation, but it's going to be great to finally get the whole team under one roof. It's pretty early. I think the only Halo thing there right now is Chief's cryotube, fittingly. Launch of Halo 5 really is the beginning of the next step in our journey as we continue to support that game and then dream about whatever comes next.
And now back to work.
Get the Xbox One Limited Edition bundle.